I don't know why I thought that was like the moment Edge lost his career, but watching it, I was like, was that the moment?
What'd you do, Brodus?
Yeah.
Rock needs to stop and take a sip of the people's water.
Because he was thirsty. I mean, did you see how sweaty he was? Of course he needed some water. He's got to keep that throat moist.
King and Austin are giggling at each other like, you thought I was going to pin him. I thought you were going to pin him. You're just going to keep whooping his ass, aren't you, son? Yeah, I'm going to keep whooping his ass.
Recap here. The Nexus has debuted, broken up, split off into the core and the new Nexus. CM Punk, who just a year before was in the Straight Edge Society, is now the leader of this new group that is less than a year old.
So far, that's 3 pedigrees, a last ride, and a tombstone for those counting at home. So then, camera zooms in on Hornswoggle. The lights shift. The beat plays. I'm like, oh God, no.
Ref, you gotta stop him. He's gonna reveal Cody's face to the world. And the king said, his mask is clear.
Well, I guess that brings us to our Wrestling Rewind. We are in Atlanta, Georgia for WrestleMania 27.
What the hell am I looking
at? What are you talking
about? Why is Hornswoggle dressed like Ice Cube?
That was part of the show.
I missed that.
Oh, well, we'll get to talk about it.
Oh.
So some bitch I've never heard of before in my life sang America the Beautiful. And this isn't me being like, oh, this was a nobody, when it's really somebody sort of well-known. I've never seen this person before in my life.
I get you.
And clearly I won't have to remember her because I don't think she's around anymore. I miss when they brought out soul singers for America the Beautiful. Throwing that out there. Then they do an intro. I guess it was supposed to be the Tonight Show or something. And The Rock is the host. Speaking of The Rock, he comes out. He does this finally, asks the crowd if they can feel, taste, and smell the electricity in the air. Then he has the crowd chant Mania after he says wrestle. Then he says he has goosebumps. Then he says to all the superstars, past and present, and to one in particular, who right now is in the back trying to decide which Rainbow Fruity Pebbles t-shirt he's going to put on tonight. There's a mixed reaction from the crowd at first. Then all of a sudden, a Fruity Pebbles chant begins to build up some steam, especially when The Rock reacted to it. And then he says, The Rock needs to stop and take a sip of the people's water for some reason.
Because he was thirsty.
And then he makes the crowd do another sing-along chant. It was Yabba Dabba.
I mean, did you see how sweaty he was? Of course he needed some water.
I don't see Triple H just stopping. Oh, let me get a drink of water. Austin, you're... Oh, hold on. Let me get some water first.
It's not the same. They're not hosting. They're in the ring.
They're competitors. If anybody needs water, it's a competitor.
He was hosting. That's different. He's got to keep that voice ready. Keep that throat moist. By the way, it's Rock. What you should be getting is called Singer's Voice or something like that. It's a little spray. You just keeps those vocals moist, and yeah, it keeps you going. I saw a live streamer talk about that. I'm tapped into this YouTube thing.
They had a WrestleMania video package. They used Shinedown's Diamond Eyes for the song. Michael Cole, Josh Matthews, ew, and Jerry the King Lawler are on commentary. Cole is in a box, which he calls the coal mine, so King won't beat the shit out of him before their match later. They're wrestling, by the way.
Yes.
I'll just get it out of the way. Between each match, they were talking shit to each other until their actual match. That was a nice little touch, I guess. Attention to detail.
Yep. I mean, Michael Cole was actually pretty damn good at his role.
Yeah, I can't lie. He was pretty good.
Yeah, he played his character to a T.
So our first match is Alberto Del Rio versus Edge. It's for the World Heavyweight Championship. And Del Rio's personal ring announcer, Ricardo Rodriguez, is introduced. And Del Rio comes out in a vintage Rolls Royce, not like Eddie Guerrero at all. And then Del Rio's associate is ringside, and his associate is Brodus Clay. So no Funkasaurus for our Mania.
Not yet.
Was he Brodus Clay before Funkasaurus?
Yeah.
Was he?
Yeah. And then he went away, and then he
came back. Oh,
redebuted as Funkasaurus.
Okay. Oh, that makes me feel better. All right. But it was quite the sight seeing Rodriguez, Del Rio, and Brodus Clay just standing ringside stewing during Edge's entrance. I thought that was funny. Just an odd group of characters.
Yeah. They really had the machine behind Del Rio.
Oh, yeah.
The grand entrance. It was jarring for me not to see him with the title. So that's how used to him having a title I was, seeing him. I know towards the end there, when he got rid of the ring announcer, he lost his aura at that point.
A little bit, yeah. I don't know. I liked him. He looked legit.
Yeah.
He didn't look like the spunky underdog or somebody that has to cheat to win. He looked like somebody that would just beat the fuck out of you.
He was, and yeah, they did have the machine behind him.
Yeah, that did help. So Christian comes out, and his role is to keep Brodus Clay at bay. Edge had a really cool entrance. I liked the cube that they used. Randy Orton and Edge seemed to utilize it the best.
Yeah.
And Edge kind of had a different aura this WrestleMania. I don't know if it was because I knew it was his last match.
So that was his last match? I thought I remembered that.
Yeah,
remember you telling me that?
Yeah, he ended up retiring on the Raw or SmackDown after. I remember that too.
SmackDown.
I watched that live.
This is 2011. I was surprised that I still remember it so vividly, but it was so long ago. Like the GM, I don't want to completely spoil it, but the GM, you know, it's like, wow, that was like that long ago. Felt like it was just like a couple years ago.
So Del Rio ended up winning the Royal Rumble, and he says it's his destiny to become World Heavyweight Champion at WrestleMania. Meanwhile, Edge is simply trying to walk out of WrestleMania for the first time as a champion, or at least a singles champion.
Yeah, he's never successfully defended a title at WrestleMania.
Or won. In fact, his WrestleMania record's pretty shitty.
Well, he was undefeated up until the Taker match.
And then it all went downhill.
Yeah.
So it starts off with Del Rio being the aggressor, shoves Edge only to get slapped. Del Rio hurt Edge's arm on the Raw or SmackDown before WrestleMania. Edge has it bandaged, so that was Del Rio's target throughout the whole match. They go outside the ring. Del Rio slams Edge's arm on the steel steps. Get back in the ring, does nothing but work on Edge's arm. And all he's doing is setting him up for the armbar. So Edge gets knocked out of the ring again. Del Rio slams his arm on the announce desk. They go back in the ring. Del Rio still working on the arm. He sets Edge up on the ropes, and he misses whatever he was about to do. Not the worst bump we've seen, but the motherfucker hit the floor really hard. Edge did a flip onto Del Rio, and he landed pretty rough too. And then Edge goes to the top rope. Del Rio catches Edge with a armbar, and he used the injured arm, which was a great little attention to detail. And Del Rio mounts Edge, starts wailing on him. He pops up and he screams, "Del Rio!" Which I thought was funny. So Edge catches Del Rio with a spinning heel kick, and he hits a big boot. He starts to get a flurry going. Del Rio cuts him off with an arm breaker. Then he goes for the arm bar, and then Edge counters it with a near fall. Edge tries an overly complicated roll-up. Del Rio ends up countering it with his arm bar. Edge gets to the ropes. There's no like suspense or anything. You just immediately crawl to it. So Edge climbs to the top rope again. This time Del Rio catches him with an enziguri, makes the pin. Edge gets his foot on the ropes, and then Rodriguez just knocks his foot back down, which I thought was fantastic. So then Christian goes after Rodriguez, and then he and Clay start fighting, and then Del Rio kicks Christian in the head from inside the ring. Clay hits Christian with a T-bone suplex on the floor. And Edge catches Del Rio with a Impaler DDT. He gets this crazy look in his eyes, goes for a spear. Del Rio sidesteps it. Rodriguez climbs on the apron and distracts the referee. At the very same time, Clay grabs Edge's injured arm from the floor and pulls Edge into the ring post.
I don't know why I thought that was like the moment that Edge lost his career.
I think it was an accumulation of injuries. I don't know if he necessarily got hurt during this match.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. But watching it, I was like, was that the moment?
Yeah. What'd you do, Brodus?
Yeah.
That did kind of cross my mind. Like, did Brodus Clay really fucking take out Edge? Or how wild is it that Brodus Clay is in Edge's last match?
It is wild. He's actually still going, too, by the way. He's in
Brodus
TNA.
Clay? No, he retired.
Sorry, NWA.
I thought he retired.
I thought he was back. I don't know. Maybe you're right. He's like on Fox now or something.
Yeah, he moved over to politics, which that's weird.
You don't know? Does he cook with the politics?
Oh, yeah, he's very articulate and he makes his point across. It's just seeing a wrestler talking politics. That's all.
There's that.
Once you get past that, Brodus knows his shit. So Del Rio locks in another armbar. This time there's a little bit more drama. Edge ends up reversing it into a pin, causes Del Rio to break the hold. And Edge gets Del Rio into this weird sharpshooter thing. What's it called?
I want to say education or something like that. Educator.
So yeah, he gets Del Rio in the educator. He didn't sell the armbar at all, which kind of disappointed me. And then Christian awakens, climbs the apron, starts kicking Clay in the face, then hits a tornado DDT on the floor. Del Rio breaks free of Edge's submission, only to walk into a spear. 1, 2, 3. Really good match.
He was in it for a long time, though.
He was in it for a long time because Christian had to kick Brodus Clay in the face and tornado DDT him. But yeah, this is a really good match. I appreciate how the villains work so well together as a unit. After the match, Edge celebrated with the title, beats up Del Rio's Rolls Royce. I especially liked when he elbow dropped the roof.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do, so he just elbow dropped.
And then Christian appears with a crowbar and a lead pipe. And then Edge beats the shit out of the Rolls Royce with the crowbar while Christian stood guard with the lead pipe. Del Rio cried. Michael Cole wanted Edge arrested for personal property damage. And then Edge leaves and Del Rio cries some more, which we probably could have done without that last bit.
Well, so here's Edge. Instead of driving off in this $100,000 car, he decides to destroy it.
Which I would have done that. Like, if you're going to commit a crime, at least commit the crime where you get something out of it.
Yeah, he didn't think that all the way through. I thought he was going to drive it off, but yeah, no shots.
Well, up next we have Cody Rhodes versus Rey Mysterio Jr. And disfigured Cody Rhodes comes out. His theme music game is drastically improved from last WrestleMania. And it turns out that
this is I don't know if it's a remix or it's like a hollowed, which is interesting that it matches his character. It's the Smoke and Mirrors theme song, but it's like...
It's broken.
Yeah, it's broken.
So it turns out Cody's face got fucked up from taking a 619, and that's why we're here tonight. 619 from Rey Mysterio. Mysterio is dressed like Captain America. Cole talks shit because Mysterio chose to wear a mask to the ring while Cody is forced to wear one due to his deformed face. And the match starts off with Rey trying to take off Cody's mask, which I found ironic. Rey does some flippy shit. Cody cuts him off with a clothesline, then exposes Rey's knee brace. Apparently his knee's injured. Speaking of knees, Cody sure could have used some knee pads. I don't like naked Cody Rhodes.
That's fair.
Cody takes over, kind of manhandles Rey, hits an Alabama slam. Rey starts to fight back, climbs the top rope. Cody catches him and delivers a delayed superplex from the middle rope. Rey ends up arm dragging Cody out of the ring. Then he head scissors him from the apron. Rey starts to build a head of steam. Cody cuts him off with a German suplex. Then Rey hits Cody with another head scissors, sets him up for the 619. Cody blocks it by just catching Rey. Cody goes after Rey's injured knee, starts taking off the knee brace. Rey hits a moonsault out of nowhere. Seems okay without the knee brace. Rey takes Cody's mask off. He hits a 619 on Cody's exposed face. And Cody sold it great. And then Rey went to the top rope to do something. Cody blocked it by doing something of his own. I guess he got his feet up. I don't know what they did there.
Yeah, I guess he got his knees up and then, I don't know.
So Rey kicks Cody in the head. And then he puts Cody's mask on and starts diving at Cody face first with the mask. Fucking stupid. And Cody gets crotched on the ropes. Rey hits a stupid splash for a near fall. Rey starts to celebrate in the middle of the ring with Cody's mask. Cody rolls out, grabs Rey's knee brace. Rey goes for a suicide dive, and then Cody smacks him in the face with the knee brace. Cody hits one crossroads. 1, 2, 3.
I know, it's jarring, right? That he went off of one. I enjoyed this match a lot. You can see why there's something behind that Cody kid. I don't know, he put so much effort into his character. Like, the match starts and he's got the hood down because he doesn't want to reveal his face. And the distorted theme, kind of like early Mankind-ish.
Yeah.
There was a point, because you remember, you said Michael Cole and the King, and they were just going back and forth all night. Rey was trying to take the mask off, and Michael Cole said, "Ref, you got to stop him. He's going to reveal Cody's face to the world." And the King said, "His mask is clear." And then Cole's like, "Yeah, but it's distorted." It was just funny because it was like completely gotcha. And you can hear it in Cole's voice, like, "Damn it, he got me."
Yeah, I gotta admit, I didn't particularly care for the match, but the back and forth they had.
Yeah, I like the whole thing about Cody Rhodes, and it was a good match between him and Rey.
Yeah, it actually was. Then after he asked the ref to put the mask back on him, but apparently the ref told him to go fuck himself because Cody had to do it himself.
Yep, and I think this is close to put the bag on the head, Cody. The paper bag, Cody.
Because he wears that mask for a while.
Yeah, and I was just thinking, like, how quick these gimmicks change. You know, just last year he was Legacy Cody, now he's disformed Cody.
The year before that he was Legacy, and then the year after that, Legacy was fighting Randy Orton.
Yeah, it's just like, golly, these gimmicks change so fast. But if it's a good gimmick, it's so memorable.
Well, moving on, you might want to buckle the fuck up for this. Snoop Dogg and Teddy Long are backstage. Snoop is looking for talent to go on tour with. Long says, "Well, D.O. double jizzle, you've come to the right place."
It's a good thing I missed this, so just go ahead and say it now.
So Long tells Snoop to take a seat while the superstars are lined up to audition for him. William Regal is first. A beat starts to play. The camera zooms in on him a little bit. He starts to, white man jiggle. You know, we kind of bounce back and forth without moving.
Yeah. Like the neck movement.
Yeah. Straight out of Blackpool. I'm William Regal. Everybody knows I do nothing legal. Mess with my man Snoop, you won't be chillin'. I'll show you why. I'm straight up villain. And he does like a little slash thing with his thumb on his cheek. Bars.
Okay.
Regal asks Snoop if that was gangsta enough. Snoop says, hell fucking no. Next. Then, the Great Khali and Beth Phoenix did a lame-ass Grease impression. Obviously, they didn't make the cut. Zack Ryder is next. He sings Friday while fist pumping. Rowdy Roddy Piper appears behind Zack Ryder with a strange look on his face. Teddy Long starts to stop Piper. Snoop's like, no, let's see where this is going. And then Piper proceeds to assassinate Zack Ryder with a coconut. Snoop loves this. He says, hot rod, my man, rowdy, bowdy, boop bop. Piper points at Snoop and then walks off. Chris Masters and Yoshi Tatsu are next. Masters makes his tits dance to Queen's We Will Rock You. Tatsu sings the lyrics. Hornswoggle's next. He's dressed, like you said, straight out of Compton, but he goes, pakoo, pika, da, da, da. So, of course, Snoop picks him. Well, Long says, well, that's not cool, playa, because Swoggle can't talk. Snoop asks Swoggle if that's true. Swoggle goes, da, 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 da. Snoop is disappointed. Long says, we need to leave, playa. Snoop and Long leave, dejected. Even though this was Long's talent pool. So the camera cuts to Hornswoggle. He's all brokenhearted. Like, he tries to stop Snoop and Long, but he can't talk. All he can... So then the camera fucking zooms in on Hornswoggle as he looks up. The lights shift. The beat plays. I'm like, oh, God, no. Please, dear God. Then Hornswoggle slowly puts on the sunglasses. He has sunglasses. And then two hoes come out from the back and start dancing behind Swoggle. Finally, Hornswoggle begins to rap.
And let me guess, is the camera like zooming in and out and in and out?
I can't remember if I'm being honest. Probably.
I'm sure that's like the Kevin Dunn special for rap segments.
So Hornswoggle raps. Check. Hornswizzle, a.k.a. your little brizzle. My rhyme's so tight, I'm the main mizzle. Divas all around, leprechauns ain't clowns. The mic cuts out or he curses. Know how to get down. Then this tiny piece of shit has the nerve to pose. Does the little gangster pose with his arms folded with the hose in the background. You didn't see it. There's all this buildup. This motherfucker looks up, puts sunglasses on. There's a beat. The lights change. All this shit only to deliver the worst fucking white guy rap ever.
Only like 3 bars.
3 bars, yes. Half of it was cut out because he decided to have a potty mouth. And the audio sucked.
Yeah, I'm glad I missed it.
Yeah.
Although I do have to go back and watch it now. I don't know why.
It was something. I will say that. Up next, we have the core, consisting of Ezekiel Jackson, Heath Slater, Justin Gabriel, and Wade Barrett. And they are facing The Big Show, Kane, Kofi Kingston, and Santino Marella. It is a dirty fucking shame that the Nexus weren't featured on a WrestleMania. Instead, we get the core.
That was one of the other things that led me to like, man, these gimmicks go so fast. We didn't even get the Nexus.
I was like, what
we're
did they do?
already at the core.
Were they a week?
Yeah, we're already at the core. None of these people were on the last WrestleMania. Also funny that outside of Wade Barrett on commentary, none of them are even still here.
No. Justin Gabriel was the Darewolf guy. He's like, oh man, I had this really cool gimmick where I was a werewolf and I was a daredevil at the same time. Vince didn't like it though.
Oh gee, I wonder why.
You know it's bad when Vince is like, just no.
Yeah, when Vince is.
So the Big Show is a theme music whore. He will mash up theme songs with just about anybody.
Yeah. Although it wasn't like the Miz Big Show theme, but it was mashed a little bit. Just the start of it. I was like, oh no, is this a mashup too?
I did enjoy the Miz Show theme though. I stand by that.
That's fair.
I lost interest in this entire match when Santino did his little power walk. I hate Santino. He does have good theme music though.
Yeah, for me, it was like, well, there goes any credibility for the core.
Right? This was a definition of a nothing match. It was kind of cool when Ezekiel clotheslined Giant on his ass when he was running wild. Aside from that, nothing really sticks out. Kofi did an unnecessarily overdramatic dive to the floor from the apron. And then Slater got hit with a Cobra in a punch from Big Show. 1, 2, 3.
I don't even think everybody officially tagged into this match. That's how
I don't
fast it
think.
was.
Yeah.
It might have been like a 2-minute match. I don't know. It was quick.
It was like just under 3.5 minutes, I think.
And your new group, the core, is already losing in 3 minutes to Santino. But, you know, Heath Slater, you could tell he was going to be a jobber. Ezekiel, he had a look.
He did.
Wade Barrett, you know, there's something into him. And then, yeah, you said the other guy was Justin Gabriel.
Yeah.
He didn't do anything, did he? Did he even get it?
I don't know. He may have taken something.
But really, his whole thing was having a good 450 splash. Like, that was his whole shtick. No promo skills, just the 450.
Just like Evan Bourne with the shooting star press.
Yeah.
Well, up next we have Rock and Eve, whoever the fuck that was. And Rock congratulates her for becoming Divas champion for some reason. I don't know why that's a congratulatory thing. And then he makes her feel his bicep.
You won the title, and as a prize, you get to feel my bicep. That's all.
Eve tells Rock that the whole week for her has been magical. And Rock says all he does is create magic. And he says, in fact, the next person that comes up behind him is going to get a magical moment with The Rock. He's not even going to look. Rock tells Eve to just let him know when that person's ready to have that magical WrestleMania moment. Well, she says, oh, there they are. Rock turns around. It's Mae Young. She's still alive. She wants a piece of that big Rock cock. Rock plays it cool, asks how he can help her, and she reiterates that she wants the people's strudel. Rock says, Mae, you should be craving strudel from other people, like Moses. And then Rock introduces Mae to Eve. He says it's the same name as one of Mae's childhood friends. Mae says, while laughing, to not fuck with her because she's the great Mae Young, and she'll never get old. And then Rock tells Eve to get Mae out of his sight, and then Mae slaps his ass. And then Rock starts bitching to himself. Pesky Mae. Could have been anyone else coming around that corner. Anyone else! Rock turns around. Stone Cold's there. And they shake hands after having an intense conversation that was uncomfortably close with very intense eye stares. It's like Wild West.
So much tension, too.
Yes. So we have CM Punk versus Randy Orton. The new Nexus is banned from ringside. We don't even get to see the new Nexus either.
Let's recap here. The Nexus has debuted. They've broken up. They've split off into the core and the new Nexus. CM Punk, who just a year before was in the Straight Edge Society, is now the leader of this new group that is less than a year old.
And I believe next WrestleMania, I don't think he's going to be the leader anymore.
Yeah, it didn't last long. Now that I do remember.
So this is the first match for the video package. And apparently it's taken 2 years for CM Punk to exact revenge on Orton for punting him out of his title reign way back when. Punk says as long as they both breathe, Orton will never be champion again. And Orton says they're far from even though Punk never said that. And when Orton punted Punk, he should have kicked him harder. Orton tells Punk that the faith he always talks about won't save him from getting kicked so hard his neck snaps. And then it cuts to a video of Orton hospitalizing Husky Harris, 2 other Nexus members, and David Otunga. Punk says he's got to finish what Orton started and put Orton in the ground. It's a good little package.
And I believe everybody in that group, not there anymore either.
Maybe David Otunga.
No, he's not there either.
Oh, he's not? I thought he was still backstage.
Is he?
I thought so.
He might be. But yeah, I was thinking during this WrestleMania, because we saw Cody Rhodes, we saw Randy Orton, we saw CM Punk. You know, they're the top guys in 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have a group like that. Nobody is left.
I think that's one of the contentions with the Nexus because they were killed off by Cena. Like you said, they were gone fairly soon. So they didn't really have a time to sink their teeth into anything.
I always thought that Barrett should have won the title when he got that match.
Oh, yeah. But that was Cena.
That doesn't work for me, brother.
Right. So it starts off with Randy using 100% emotion. He's breathing hard, all wide-eyed. He's doing European uppercuts that's sending Punk crashing to the mat. And then Punk manages to slow Orton down by kicking the steel steps in his already injured leg. They get back in the ring. Punk hits a crossbody. Orton's clearly fucked up, at least his knee is. And then Punk grins evilly and starts mocking Orton by limping to him. Orton starts working on Orton's leg in the corner. Orton fights back, hits Punk with his backbreaker. Punk starts working on Orton's leg again. They're in the corner. He hits a shining wizard, goes back to the injured leg. So Punk goes for a GTS. Orton fights out of it, tries for an RKO. Punk blocks it and karate kicks Orton in the head. And then Punk shows signs of frustration, climbs the top rope. Looks like he's going to go for a Macho Man elbow. Orton gets to his feet and crotches Punk on the turnbuckles. Orton gives Punk a diabolical look. Then he hits Punk with a superplex. Punk gets out of the ring, onto the floor, trips up Orton. He starts slamming his leg against the ring post. Then he does the Bret Hart figure four leg lock on the ring post, which he really was a Bret Hart fan.
Yeah, he loves some Bret Hart.
So they get back in the ring. Punk gets Orton in an Indian Deathlock, or it looks like it's a modified Indian Deathlock. He starts hammering blows on Orton's leg. Punk rips the padding off of Orton's knee, and then Orton escapes by ripping Punk's ears and headbutting him repeatedly.
I loved everything about this exchange. Orton grabbing at Punk's ears and doing everything he can to fight it off, and I don't know, it just felt real, you know. And then the moment where Punk finally got it in, but then he's on his back and the ref starts counting, and
He
then
almost
he looks
looked at the ref like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, and he's like, "What the fuck?" So yeah, everything about this exchange, I loved it.
Orton gets to his feet. He starts to make a comeback, does some clotheslines and a power slam, then a weird ass loose Thesz press. Then he does an angle slam. And Punk starts kicking Orton all over his legs. Then he hits a leg sweep and he locks in the Anaconda Vice. Orton manages to get to the ropes. Punk gets on the apron and grabs Orton so he can get hit with a draping DDT, which he does. And then Orton coils up for an RKO. He stops, gets a sadistic look. He goes to punt Punk, but his leg gives out. Punk starts laughing maniacally and walks to Orton. Orton, it looks like he hits the RKO, but I guess he let go. That was weird.
Oh, Punk countered.
How'd he counter?
He he put his hands on the ground and like stopped the finish of it, I guess.
Okay. It was weird. Either way, it had no effect on Punk and Orton's out. And Punk goes from terrified to joy because he knew he was fucked. So then Punk goes for his springboard clothesline. Orton catches Punk out of nowhere, hits an RKO. 1, 2, 3. Punk is so good.
Yeah, Punk and Orton. You know, you're gonna have a wrestling match here. And that's exactly what we got. Now, it's a nitpick of just a little bit. Punk did look like an idiot. Like you said, he evaded the RKO. Well, first he evaded the punt because Orton couldn't run.
Yeah.
Then he countered the RKO. And then he went for his springboard and got RKO. So kind of looked like an idiot there.
He got overconfident.
Yeah. Basically, why are you putting yourself in position to get caught?
He thought he had Randy Orton finished.
He did slide to the outside when he counted the first RKO, so there's that. But I don't know, he went to him. If you, I don't know, keep it on the ground.
He fell into the same trap as any other Randy Orton opponent. And when you think you have Randy Orton down, he can still hit that RKO out of nowhere. That's not necessarily him being an idiot. It's just him being overconfident.
He just got tricked.
I guess idiot works because he fell into the same trap that everybody else has.
Yeah, to put it in like a football term, you got Darrell Revis on one side. Why are you throwing it over there? The one defender you know that can beat you.
Because there's always that quarterback that thinks, I can thread that needle.
Yeah.
So up next we have The Rock and Mean Gene backstage. Mean Gene says, Mania has already been memorable. Rock says, yeah, but it's going to get real ugly soon because John Cena's #1 fan is coming to confront me. Gene says, well, it looks like he's already here. Rock turns around. It's Pee Wee Herman. Rock asks what Pee Wee has to say for himself as Cena's #1 fan. Herman just screams, you can't see me, while doing the hand thing. He fucked it up too because his body was moving and his hand was staying still. Weird. Rock tells Pee Wee that he looks and sounds ridiculous. He has potential, and he asks if he wants to be a man on Team Bring It or if he wants to be a little boy on the Fruit Loop Troop. If he picks the Fruit Loop Troop, he's going to look like this. And Mean Gene slides in. He's dressed like John Cena. Pee Wee laughs at Mean Gene and calls him a tool. Mean Gene says, I know you are, but what am I? And storms off. Pee Wee says...
Proving the point.
Herman says, the Pee Wee Herman sees your point. I'm on Team Bring It. Rock says, well, then there's only one thing you need to do to be a man. Pee Wee says, if you smell la 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 what the pea is cooking. And then Pee Wee gets out of hand when The Rock wants to fist bump him.
I did laugh at that part for some reason. The Rock, give me some. And then Pee Wee's like fist bumping and then elbow bumping. He's like, I don't need that much. You're giving me too much. I don't know. Fist bump stuff just makes me laugh. I'll just tell people, come on, pound me. Pound me. You're not going to pound me?
This is just another backstage segment that probably didn't need to happen for me.
Well, there was that too. These hokey ass backstage segments. And then we're talking about a 4-hour WrestleMania.
Right.
We could probably do without these segments at all.
You mean to tell me we could cut Hornswoggle's little fucking rap act out? I would have been so mad if I was sitting for... Because it's not just 4 hours when you're there live.
Yeah,
it's
you
like
got
a whole
the
day.
Pre-show and
I'm sitting there sweaty, tired, hot Georgia sun, and I'm watching this little midget rap poorly.
And you have to deal with parking too. Because, you know, getting out of the parking lot, you got to deal with that too.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just ruined Mean Gene's legacy. That's all it did for me. It was bad enough he was doing the WCW hotline shit, but this is
the
worse.
final nail was right there.
Yeah.
Was it the wearing of the Cena stuff or the actual, I know you are, but what am I line?
Just the fact that Mean Gene's an afterthought.
Yeah, there's nothing better for him to do.
I think the last time we saw him, he was getting sexually assaulted by Mae Young and Moolah.
Yeah, him and Bobby the Brain Heenan were...
Yeah, they got drug in the little dark corridor thing.
It seemed
like,
like
no,
they
please.
were into
They said no. No means no.
it. Only in your neck of the woods. For me, that means try harder.
Whoa. So we get the 2011 Hall of Fame. The inductees are Abdullah the Butcher, who was accused of giving another wrestler hepatitis, allegedly.
I'm not going to ask for details on that.
If you watch the Dark Side of the Ring.
Oh, yeah, I never really got into that. I think I watched the Chris Benoit one, and that was it.
I think I've watched them all. It's actually pretty good. They have one on Doink the Clown. They have one on Harley Race, Abdullah the Butcher. But the next inductee is Sunny, and this is possibly the last time we'll see her fuckable, or at all.
I'm going to be honest with you here. I knew this might come up with Sunny. You know, she recently had that tape released.
Well, for one, I don't know how recent it was. I think it was like almost 10 years ago. And unfortunately, it was 30 years too late.
Well, that's what I say. Thought this might come up. It was still enough for me. You said that moment was like the last time she was good.
So you're telling me you liked her movie?
Yeah.
Okay. I just remember watching it like, oh, this is sad.
There's a little bit of that too, but then when I realized that she was really getting after it, it's like, what? And then, yeah.
Okay. She didn't seem like she was that interested to me.
Did you see the right one? Because there was one, she was like really into it.
I thought she only had one.
I don't know.
Well, I guess I'll have something to look forward to. So the Road Warriors are next, and it's just Animal and Paul Ellering. Hawk has passed away at this point. And then Drew Carey for some reason. He's the star of the Drew Carey Show, Whose Line Is It Anyway, and The Price is Right, I think. None of which are wrestling related, by the way. When has he wrestled?
I guess he's done something with wrestling. Yeah, that's what
It wasn't at WrestleMania. We have Bullet Bob Armstrong, who is Road Dogg's daddy. And then Hacksaw Jim Duggan, which I like how he had the bow tie on the 2x4.
Yeah, he was dressing it up.
And the headliner for the Hall of Fame is Shawn Michaels, which I think that was really quick. He just
Retired a
retired.
year
You think
ago.
they would wait till they go to Texas or something?
Probably would have been a better moment.
They could have inducted Goldberg here.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the Hall of Fame. So up next we have Jerry the King Lawler versus Michael Cole. And they cut to the previous Raw. King got himself disqualified after beating the shit out of Jack Swagger with a chair. And then King goes after Michael Cole. Michael Cole hides in his glass box behind security. And then King starts whacking the box with the chair. He starts to climb into the box. Security holds King back. Cole throws coffee in King's face. And that's our setup.
There's also something about he can't touch Michael Cole or he gets fired.
So Booker T's called out to call the match with Josh Matthews. My hand is getting mighty close to that skip button by this point. And then they bring out JR to make it a 3-man commentary team because that's necessary. Cole makes a musicless entrance, says JR has the second biggest ego in WWE, and he's fat. He also says Jerry Lawler is the one with the biggest ego. He's also fat like JR. Cole says they're both overrated and over the hill. He calls the fans coal miners. He says King has been in the business longer than he's been alive, and this is the first WrestleMania moment for both of them. Cole says when this match is over, JR's going to go back to making barbecue sauce, and Lawler is going to be embarrassed and humiliated. And Stone Cold is going to raise his hand in victory. And the coal miners, they're going to call him the new Mr. WrestleMania. So yeah, we said it earlier. He played it perfectly.
Yeah.
So Swagger comes out, and then Stone Cold comes out in a four-wheeler, of course. And he chases Cole back into his box. King comes out. They're ready to start the match. Cole won't come out of his box. Stone Cold rings the bell, tells King to go get his ass. Swagger tries to stop King, gets his ass whipped for his efforts. Cole starts begging behind the box. He wants to be friends with Lawler after talking all that shit all night. Cole tries to stick his hand through a hole in the box to shake hands and let bygones be bygones. Lawler seemingly accepts Cole's handshake, but then Lawler extends the grip. Cole starts to panic. King starts yanking on Cole's arm, slamming his head against the inside of the box. And they did a spot where you see Cole's smushed up face against the little glass thing. It's supposed to be funny.
It was comically funny.
So King climbs into the box. He starts whipping the shit out of Cole. He drags Cole out of the box into the anonymous GM podium, which is, I think, the first time we've really seen it.
I saw it earlier, but I think this is about to be the first time it's actually used.
So King throws Cole in the ring. Swagger attacks King from behind. Cole distracts Stone Cold so Swagger can apply the ankle lock on the floor. Cole starts screaming at Stone Cold to count Lawler out. Stone Cold looks Cole dead in the eyes and starts to very slowly count to 10, which I thought was funny. And then King crawls into the ring, but he's hurt from the ankle lock. Cole starts to work on the injury. He does a pathetic Vader bomb. He starts off like a normal Vader bomb, then he has to lower himself to the bottom rope because it's too high. Cole works on King's leg again, just slams it in the mat, starts stomping it. Crowd rightfully boos Cole because he's boring. Cole then lowers a strap. He applies an ankle lock. Fucking hell. King fights out of the ankle lock and recovers, starts to beat the shit out of Cole. Swagger tries to throw in the towel for Michael Cole. He literally throws the towel in. Stone Cold looks at it, and he picks it up. He wipes himself off with it and just throws it back at Swagger. Well, Swagger starts to get a little irate. Gets in the ring, gets in Stone Cold's face. He gets stunned. King tells Stone Cold to ask Cole if he wants to keep going. Cole says no. Austin calls him a pussy, I'm guessing. Cole gets irate and shoves Austin. Austin shoves Cole back, and King is waiting to level him. King beats the shit out of Cole. Austin half-heartedly started counting to 5. Lawler stops and looks in disbelief, and Austin just giggles at him. It's like, I'm just kidding. There ain't no countouts here, son. Cole starts to beg for mercy again. The King drop kicks Cole on his ass, climbs the middle rope, slowly drops his strap on his left arm. Then he does a diving punch with his right fist, which I thought was kind of weird. The King goes for the cover, but pulls Cole's shoulder up just before the 3 count. King and Austin are giggling at each other like, you thought I was going to pin him. I thought you were going to pin him. You're just going to keep whooping his ass, aren't you, son? Yeah, I'm going to keep whooping his ass. So then King applies an ankle lock to Cole. Cole immediately taps out, screams, I give up. You can hear it clean as day. I give up. Let it go. I give up. Let me go. Yeah. Austin slowly gets in Cole's face, asks Cole if he gives up. Cole's like, yes, please. Yes. Austin, do you give up? Yes. Do you give up? So finally, after a long ass time, Austin finally rings the bell. Swagger carries Cole away like a baby. Austin and Lawler celebrate and drink beer. Booker T joins. He's like, I gotta get in on this. He does a spin-a-rooney. Austin hands Booker a beer. Booker gets stunned. I don't know why. I remember watching this live. I remember laughing at just how excited Booker T was to get in on the action, and then ended up getting stunned.
As usual.
Then the anonymous Raw GM chimes in. Says Austin interfered in the match. Therefore, King is disqualified, and the real winner of this match is Michael Cole. Cole and Swagger, who for some reason are still on the entrance ramp, start celebrating. King gets pissed off at Matthews, tells him to repeat what the GM said. Then King snatches Matthews, tosses him in the ring, so Austin can stun his little ass. Austin then starts talking massive shit to the fallen Josh Matthews, who, by the way, just simply read an email.
Yep, wrong place, wrong time.
Austin asks for more beer, which is probably not a good idea considering he's at the point where he's just stunning everything. And he leaves in a four-wheeler with a big grin. King is still at the announce desk. He's beside himself. And it looks like we get JR and King on commentary. So at least there's that. So I will say up until the general manager part, it was probably better than it had a right to be. And then it's like they stopped caring.
Yeah, like I said, Michael Cole played his part to a T. Pretty good. I did think, though, it was a little bit long.
Oh, yeah.
You know, this goes with that 4-hour thing going. But aside from that, it was a good little story that they told. And it was sports entertaining.
Well, after that, they do a WrestleMania fan access. Did you see it?
I did not.
Okay, they show people, I traveled from Ireland. Oh, I traveled from the UK. I came all the way from Australia. I'm from Norway. And then they cut to this guy. It took me 23 hours to get here. That was funny. The wrestlers play golf. WWE received a resolution from Atlanta, making it WWE week, which was a great use of taxpayer dollars, I'm sure. And then they did some stupid art show.
All right.
Yeah. Triple H and Undertaker are next. It's no holds barred match. And in the video package, Mark Colley's In Time starts playing. You may remember it from the Punisher movie. We see Undertaker make his way to the ring. Triple H joins him. They stare at each other. Triple H slowly turns to the WrestleMania sign. Then they both look at the WrestleMania sign. Taker kind of sort of laughs Triple H off. Then he stops, turns around, gives him the throat slash. Then Triple H gives him the crotch chop. So it looks like we have ourselves a goddamn match. Later, Triple H says that he's done everything in WWE. The only true challenge he has left is ending the streak. And Undertaker says, I've heard it all before. You're just number 19 to me. So then Metallica music starts playing. A phalanx comes out from the backstage. And then it breaks, and Triple H is revealed wearing a cape and skull mask. Then the lights go out, so Triple H can take it all off and do his normal entrance. I don't know, it's really awkward to me.
What part?
The pre-entrance to the entrance. Like, why does he get 2 songs, first of all?
Well, I will say his was less offensive than the other one that's happening.
So it starts with Triple H just beating the shit out of Undertaker in the corner. Taker tosses Triple H out of the ring. They fight to the floor. Taker tosses Triple H into the steel steps. Then he starts clearing off the Spanish announce desk. Triple H spears Taker through Michael Cole's glass box. They trade punches in the ring. Taker goes for old school. Triple H just arm drags Undertaker off the top rope. Then he dumps Taker out of the ring, throws him into the barricade, starts clearing off the other announce desk. And then Triple H goes for a pedigree through the announce desk, but Taker blocks it, goes for a choke slam. Triple H blocks the choke slam, goes for the pedigree again. And Undertaker back body drops Triple H from the announce desk to the floor, which was a sickening little thud there. Didn't look fun at all. He landed on his elbow.
Mm-hmm.
Undertaker does a suicide dive, which he really needs to stop, because it looked like he landed on his head here too. It wasn't as bad as the Shawn Michaels one.
This one he at least turned a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yes, I agree. I was like, man, I wish he didn't have this in his arsenal anymore.
Undertaker sets up the steel steps by the Spanish announce desk, tries to tombstone Triple H on him. Triple H fights out. Taker charges him. Triple H hits a spine buster through the announce desk. It's great. Triple H tosses Taker back in the ring. Taker hits a choke slam out of nowhere. He gets a near fall. Taker goes for a last ride. Triple H blocks it by pushing Taker in the corner. He starts doing the 10 punches. Taker turns it into a last ride. Triple H escapes the last ride. He goes for a pedigree. Taker escapes the pedigree, hits a snake eyes, goes for the big boot. Triple H hits a spine buster. So we got 2 little successful flurries. Great wrestling. Triple H gets frustrated. He grabs a chair. Taker blocks it. And he starts using it on Triple H instead. Triple H hits a pedigree out of nowhere. Undertaker kicks out, which this might be the first time we've seen a kick out for a pedigree. I can't remember if Cena did it or not.
Yeah, I want to say Cena didn't kick out. Maybe he got the ropes or something, but it was like a slow cover where he had to recover a little bit. Then he got crawled over to the cover.
Well, this was definitely a kick out.
Yeah.
Triple H goes for a superplex. Undertaker turns it into a last ride for a near fall. And here come the finishers. Undertaker signals for and hits a tombstone. Triple H kicks out.
Claim.
Undertaker goes for a tombstone on the steel chair. Triple H counters it with a DDT. Then Triple H hits another pedigree. Undertaker kicks out.
Claim.
There you go. Triple H hits a third pedigree. Undertaker kicks out.
Claim.
So far, that's 3 pedigrees, a last ride, and a tombstone for those counting at home. Triple H grabs the chair so he can beat the shit out of Taker with it and yell at him to stay down. Undertaker takes an unprotected chair shot to the head. Triple H screams at Taker to stay down. Just die! What's wrong with you? Undertaker goes for a choke slam. Triple H just shakes his head and slaps Undertaker's hand away. It's like, no. Like he did that thing where he just grabbed his throat. Undertaker gets to his feet, says, come on. Triple H does a throat slash, then tombstones Undertaker. Undertaker kicks out. And then Triple H goes out of the ring, grabs the sledgehammer. Undertaker tries to crawl out of the ring. Triple H grabs Taker's leg, drags him back in. He says, it's time. He holds up the sledgehammer. And then Undertaker grabs Triple H, locks in the Hell's Gate. Triple H drops the hammer, starts thrashing around like a trapped animal. Eventually, Triple H picks up the sledgehammer again, goes to strike Undertaker with it, starts to fade, drops it. Triple H is fading and fading and fading and fading. And finally, the fucker taps out. Goddamn. And Undertaker's 19-0. Both men lay motionless for a long-ass while after the match. Triple H gets to his feet. He's drooling and shit. And Undertaker, he's unable to walk and get back to his feet under his own power, so he has to be taken away on a stretcher. And then Triple H gave Taker a sad and disgusted look. This did not seem like a 30-minute match at all.
Was it 30 minutes?
It was like 5 seconds short of 30.
It was a good match. I think the Shawn Michaels match, maybe I liked it better. Yeah, okay. I could say I liked it better. If you don't like loaded finishers, then you weren't going to like this match, but I'm okay with it. Although hitting it clean as a whistle and getting kicked out, that was a little much. And then the very end was a little bit weird to me. I get it. You're selling the fact that he was in a war. I don't know, that Undertaker was so out of it. Like, there was a point where the guy's like trying to get the Undertaker to blink and he wouldn't blink.
Well, Undertaker did take like 4 pedigrees.
And then that's what you lost to? I don't know. They did go a long time with the whole after the match thing.
Well, yeah, but that's setting up for next year.
It is. And this is the run of the streak where it's like, oh, how long can he continue this? Because the Undertaker's like a broken man now, or he's barely getting this done. How long can he continue this streak? It's just a matter of time.
Well, I have to say that I prefer this over the Shawn Michaels matches. I don't know why. There's not like a specific reason for me. The other two just seem like a chore to watch almost. They were good matches, but they're just long.
That's fair.
This match, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then we go from a match that was fun to watch to the Snooki match. Vicky comes out screaming, says her team of dumb fucks is the best team in WrestleMania history. Then it starts off with the chicks brawling. Ziggler yells at Snooki and gets slapped. Stratus and some stupid blonde wrestle for a while until they dump each other out of the ring. And then Trish beats up the stupid blonde some more and then beats up her stupid brunette tag partner. Then she hits a double clothesline from the apron. Trish hits a chick kick to the stupid blonde. Ziggler breaks up the pin. Morrison does a starship pain to Ziggler on the floor. I guess that's the one thing he gets to do. And then Snooki gets tagged in, immediately showered with booze. The Snooki does a handspring elbow thing to the stupid blonde in the corner. Objectively speaking, it didn't look bad at all. Then the Snooki does a cartwheel over the stupid blonde and delivers a splash 1, 2, 3. The splash was awful. The Snooki is allowed to celebrate. They showed off the cast of Tough Enough, which was weird how none of these motherfuckers are around today.
Yeah, I was thinking that was a kind of a failed experiment, seeing as none of them made it. No WWE legends in there, if you will.
Nope.
I was looking at the little pan over, and yeah, I didn't recognize any of them. This match wasn't as offensive as you thought it was. Better than last year's Vicky Guerrero match. Funny enough that she was out there again. Michelle McCool, though, I remember her name. She's Miss Taker.
Well, this opened the door for matches like Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest.
Which is a much better match than this would have been.
I can't argue with you there, but there's no fucking reason why these celebrities should be beating wrestlers. I'm sorry.
Especially well, if you really want to go there, it would have been Cyndi Lauper who started this all.
Cyndi Lauper didn't wrestle. Cyndi Lauper was a corner man. She was there for Wendy Richter and the other one.
She was just
Lalani Kai. if you want to make a comparison, it would be like LT, but LT was an athlete.
No, I'm going for him as a musician. But Bad Bunny put on a good match.
No, he didn't. He beat the guy that.
Just go. Next.
So they do the attendance, 71,617. Yay. And then John Cena versus The Miz is our main event. It's for the WWE Championship. In the video package, Miz is the unlikely champion, and this motherfucker is going to ride it until the wheels fall off. Do You Hate Me Now by Nas starts playing, which was a great choice. We see clips of Miz being a Weasley heel. Actually won the title by cashing in the Money in the Bank briefcase. I guess he purchased one on his own so he can continue to cheat with one, which was a great little touch. He has Alex Riley with him. He attacks Cena with a microphone, and yeah, he's feuding with Cena. It was more of a music video than a video package.
Yeah, it kept cutting to like fans saying you can't wrestle and you're awful and all this stuff. The infamous Angry Miz girl. So yeah, it was a good little video package. And it's always good to hear Nas.
It is good to hear Nas. You're right. So Miz comes out behind the infamous awesome bubble letters. Then a gospel choir starts moaning. And then DMX's third prayer starts playing for some reason. Then the gospel choir starts gospeling. I gotta admit, it was awesome. Take the gospel choir and the DMX, just pluck it, take it out on its own. That was awesome. Then Cena had to come out and ruin it.
I will say, I actually skipped this. Knowing that this was for Cena,
I get
I
it.
just couldn't take it anymore.
I completely understand.
Got the choir singing and DMX. Now that you reminded me, even before the Miz getting Nas, okay, but then Cena over here getting the black choir and DMX, I was like, I can't do it.
The DMX was a little bit excessive. I don't know. It's been a while since I've heard gospel music, especially good gospel music. So maybe that's where my mind went, because I wanted to hate it too.
I guess for me, it's like, you want to exploit like military people? Go ahead. Do it all you want.
Now
But
you're hitting too
exploiting
close.
Black people? How dare you?
Fair enough. Understood. So Cena's stupid theme plays. And yeah, that's the end of the good music. Miz got a slightly better reaction than Super Cena during the intro.
I believe it.
I think Rock may have poisoned the well just a little bit. But either way, it was still quite the sight. Especially the Miz.
Yeah.
So yeah, it starts off with Cena demonstrating that the Miz has no shot in a fair fight. So Miz sucker punches him and stomps Cena out in the corner. Miz does his turnbuckle clothesline. Cena hits a gut wrench powerbomb out of nowhere. Miz hits a modified rock bottom, goes for his corner clothesline again, obviously misses. Cena hits his leg drop from the top rope. Miz kicks Cena in the face twice. Miz does a weird trip thing to Cena, then dumps him out of the ring. It looked like he was trying to do the shoot him in the ropes and then crash to the mat so they run over him.
Yeah.
It looked like they mistimed it, and Cena just tripped and fell. It was funny because it was Cena. Miz goes for a skull-crushing finale. Cena escapes, hits a shoulder tackle, does the belly-to-back suplex, goes for the five-knuckle shuffle. He hits the five-knuckle shuffle, goes for the FU. Miz escapes, hits Cena with the DDT. Cena goes for an STFU. Miz escapes, hits his knee neckbreaker thing. Alex Riley distracts the ref. Miz tries to expose the turnbuckle. Alex Riley sucks because the ref caught Miz. So he goes to put the turnbuckle back into the corner. Cena gets a small package, gets a visual pin. Ref eventually stopped, tried to get the pin, but it was too late. So Miz tries to immediately use the exposed turnbuckle. Cena blocks it, goes for an FU. Miz blocks that, but he gets locked in an STFU. Miz gets to the ropes. Alex Riley grabs Cena, smashes his head into the exposed turnbuckle while the ref is checking on Miz. And Miz hits a skull-crushing finale. Super Cena kicks out. Wasn't even a dramatic kick out either.
It wasn't. But it wasn't as surprising as like the Triple H and Undertaker kick out stuff.
He went face first into the exposed turnbuckle and immediately got a skull-crushing finale and kicked out, and it wasn't even like a 2.5 kick out.
That's fair.
So Miz goes for another skull-crushing finale. Cena throws Miz into the ref and hits an FU, but the ref is out. Cena goes to check on the ref. Riley slides in and screams, "Come on!" repeatedly. Cena turns around like a dumbass and gets hit in the face with the briefcase. Super Cena kicks out of that too when Miz tries to make the pin. Riley starts screaming at the ref. Miz goes to level Cena with the briefcase, but Cena sidesteps it and Riley ends up getting hit. Cena hits another FU on Miz, and holy shit, Miz kicked out of that. That was surprising.
That was surprising.
Wow. So Miz rolls out of the ring. Cena does a 4-point stance on the floor and clothesline Miz over the barricade. Miz crawls and climbs on a subsequent barricade, and Cena spears him over it. The back of Miz's head hit the floor with a mighty thud. The ref ends up counting both men out, and Miz is still the champion. Huzzah. So then The Rock comes out. He's screaming obscenities, looking pissed. And just as he hits the ring, the anonymous GM chimes in. JR starts to get it. Rock stops him. Rock walks over to the podium. He reads, "Can I have your attention, please? I just received an email from the anonymous Raw general manager. And I quote, as Raw general manager, I think..." Rock stops, looks up, then he screams at the laptop, "It doesn't matter what you think." Then he throws the laptop on the floor. Rock says he's the host of WrestleMania and this isn't over. Miz, Cena, get your asses back here and you finish this. No disqualifications, no countouts, no time limit, no way on God's green earth, under God's hot sun, in this beautiful Georgia dome will this match end like that. Rock starts to short circuit. He says, "You can take your double count out, you can take your computer, you can take your awesome, you can take your Fruity Pebbles, you can roll them all up in a ball, you can shove them sons of bitches sideways and stick them straight up your candy ass." Spitting and everything. So Cena and Miz get back in the ring. Cena goes for an FU. Miz blocks it by holding onto the ropes. Rock slides in behind Cena, coils up for a strike. Cena turns around and he gets his candy ass rock bottom. Miz, he's looking like he's living on Queer Street, covers Cena 1, 2, 3. And then we see Miz celebrating for a while, but he stops when he notices Rock staring at him. Miz's music stops. Rock slides back in the ring and whips the ever-living shit out of the Miz. And The Rock stands tall.
And this is certainly setting up what is to come next.
Yes. And this was a fantastic WrestleMania aside from the backstage shit.
Yeah, the comic relief segments, could have done without those. Although I didn't even see the main one.
You missed the best one.
It wasn't because it wasn't there. I had to leave the room for a minute. So when I came back, it was on to the next match.
Gotcha.
I forgot to pause it. Not on purpose, but I was like, well, I probably didn't miss anything. They were doing the next entrances, so I thought it was probably just like a video package or something.
Well, little did you know you missed the first time Hornswoggle spoke.
There we go.
Well, the following night on Raw, John Cena and The Rock agreed to face each other at WrestleMania 28. This is marking the first time a match had been announced almost a year in advance for any WrestleMania. Later, Cena won the WWE Championship in a triple threat steel cage match. It was against The Miz and John Morrison at Extreme Rules. The Raw after Extreme Rules, Cena defended it against The Miz. He also defended it against The Miz at Over the Limit, which he was successful twice. Later in a backstage segment, Cena congratulated The Rock on his birthday, telling him to bring it for WrestleMania while showing off the WWE Championship. This is implying that the title will be on the line for their match. However, Cena would lose the title 3 times, twice to CM Punk and once to Del Rio. In November Survivor Series, Cena teamed up with The Rock, which would be The Rock's first match since WrestleMania 20. They defeated Miz and R-Truth. At the end of the match, The Rock gave Cena a rock bottom.
And I remember that was like one of the biggest, gee, I wonder who's going to win this match.
Yeah. And no way did I think The Miz and R-Truth were going to lose. Of course, one of them was going to fuck each other over, and it wasn't going to be The Rock getting fucked over.
Yeah, at that point, we knew the match was going to happen.
Well, on the April 11th Raw, Edge retired due to his legitimate neck injury. Edge vacated the World Heavyweight Championship on the April 15th edition of SmackDown, therefore retiring as world champion and leaving WWE full-time to make part-time appearances for the company. At Extreme Rules, Christian won the title for the first time in a ladder match against Del Rio. Next year, Edge would be inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, and after 9 years, 2 neck surgeries, he would return. Well, as a consequence of using the chair shot to the head, Triple H and Undertaker were legitimately fined by the WWE for violating the company's concussion policy at the event. And after a 10-month hiatus, Undertaker returned, having felt unsatisfied after leaving victorious, not under his own power. So he won the match, but not the war.
And now we're in the season of Undertaker just appearing at WrestleMania for the streak.
Triple H refused, despite insistence from Shawn Michaels. Undertaker mocked him by calling him a coward, said he always knew that Michaels was the better man. This angered Triple H to the point where he finally accepted, but under the stipulation that their match be a Hell in the Cell match. And soon after the match was made, it was confirmed that Michaels would be the special guest referee. I remember this. Undertaker came out. He did the same thing Triple H did with the WrestleMania sign stare thing. Triple H looked at the sign. Everybody cheered. Triple H looks at Undertaker and he just kind of pats him on the shoulder and walks away with a sad smile. It's like, yeah, I know you beat me, but you know you got lucky. We don't have to do this. It's great.
So it wasn't billed as streak versus career?
Triple H
'Cause-
and Undertaker?
Yeah. I guess he
No.
just said it was end of an era. If I remember correctly, this is his last match.
No,
So-
it's not his last match. I believe his
What it
last
was
match
supposed
was
to be.
Undertaker's.
No, Triple H.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It was the end of an era. I remember it was billed as. Yeah.
You're right about that. It was an end of an era, but I think it was because they're two Attitude Era guys. I don't think anybody was retiring.
I remember like him and Shawn and Undertaker standing on the ramp posing together, hugging
Yeah,
each
'cause-
other.
Yeah, because they're all Attitude Era guys. They had a big WrestleMania moment. That might be the last time they all do that. That's the end of the era.
Okay.
Shawn Michaels is gone. Undertaker's getting older. Triple H is getting older. I mean, they just had back-to-back WrestleMania matches. When's the next time, realistically, that Triple H and Undertaker are going to have a match like that?
That makes sense.
Yeah, Triple H still has his feud with Punk. He's got the stuff with Brock. He's still got a lot of gas left in the tank. And yeah, Undertaker, he has his WrestleMania streak to hold on to for a while. What was he, 21-1? Which one did Brock beat him at?
21 or 23.
Okay, so we're getting
I
there.
believe so.
But that was WrestleMania 27. WrestleMania 28 is obviously next. If you didn't catch on, the headliner is Rock and John Cena.
Once in a lifetime.
Once
Except
in a
for-
lifetime. It'll never fucking happen again.
Yeah,
So-
except for the fact that it happens again next WrestleMania.
Very next WrestleMania. Did they announce it or did it just happen?
No, they announced it. And we're pretty close to the infamous CM Punk pipe bomb. And it was the fact that Dwayne's in the main event and I'm not. So there's that too.
Well, before WrestleMania 28, we have WCW Uncensored 98, which took place in Mobile, Alabama, in the Mobile Civic Center. The primary storyline featured the ongoing dissension between Hollywood Hogan and Randy Savage of the NWO. The two had been feuding openly with each other for the previous 2 months, which came to a head at Super Brawl 8. After Hogan directed members of the NWO not to assist Savage in his match against Lex Luger, Savage retaliated by costing Hogan his match against Sting for the vacant WCW heavyweight title. Hogan finally had enough and challenged Savage to a steel cage match at Uncensored, which of course Savage accepted. In the meantime, the World Heavyweight Championship resolution meant that Scott Hall would finally receive a shot at the title. Hall had initially earned the championship opportunity winning the 60-man World War III in 97. But, you know, they had all that shit with Hogan and Sting, so he had to wait. So he gets to face Sting. Other notable matches are Eddie Guerrero versus Booker T for the WCW TV title. We have Dean Malenko versus Chris Jericho for the Cruiserweight title. We have DDP versus Raven versus Chris Benoit for the WCW US title. We also have Bret Hart versus Mr. Perfect, which I believe will be the match of the night.
It could be. We'll see if it lives up to their glorified King of the Ring match.
Oh, I
think
thought
it
their
was-
WrestleMania match was their best match.
Yeah,
I could be wrong.
I think it was the King of the Ring tournament match. Is either that or SummerSlam. All the wrestling purists are like, oh yeah, that match. I want to say it was the King of the Ring qualifier. It's like, if you want to learn wrestling, watch that match.
Well, that was our retro.
Not bad. Got a lot to look forward to next
We
week.
do.
And as always, if you agree with anything, let us know in the comments below. If you disagree with anything, let us know in the comments below. On your way out, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and survey says one more for the good guys. Have a good night.